Welcome to our presentation on how to build a community seed library. My name is Julie Alatiet. I'm a volunteer with the Calgary Seed Library. We acknowledge the Calgary Seed Library is situated on treaty land in Mohkinstsis, where the Elbow River meets the Bow River, also known as Calgary. We acknowledge the traditional territories of the people of Treaty 7 in southern Alberta. This includes the Blackfoot Confederacy, the Siksika, Piikani, and Kainai First Nations. This also includes the Tsuut'ina First Nation and the Stoney Nakoda, including the Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Wellesley First Nations. This territory is also home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3. We acknowledge the many Indigenous, Inuit, and Métis communities that have stewarded this land. Our relationship to the land, seed saving, and the communities around us are precious to us. We are committed to continue learning about what it means to live, eat, grow, and have relationships here on this land. We are committed to caring for seeds as we understand the role seeds have in feeding, nourishing, and healing our collective communities. The Calgary Seed Library is a library of locally grown seeds available to the public for free. We are located in the basement of an independent bookstore in Calgary called The Next Page. The project was created by a group of volunteers and is still volunteer run today. We have unique work practices that encourage volunteers to have fun and choose their own projects or responsibilities. We also have a very cute brand, which includes a worm named Wormy and a bird named Bert. How did we get started? In 2018, one of our volunteers began a practice of lending seeds to garden projects that she worked with. As the practice became more popular, she sought to expand her seed collection to the public. In 2020, she received a grant to purchase the supplies needed to expand the seed collection. In 2021, several friends and community members joined forces to make it happen. About 25 volunteers got involved and a small community was born. In this first year, we worked together to dream up a vision, define how we'd work together, and we found fellow seed nerds. We dreamed a lot and figured out the strengths everyone had to offer. We used Seeds of Diversity's micro seed banking primer document, available for free online and easy to follow, to figure out our first steps. This document laid out supplies we would need to get started, which included airtight jars, silica packages, coin envelopes, and a rubber stamp. In our first year, we did not officially launch, but focused on developing a strong foundation and key elements. We accomplished typical startup tasks such as getting organized into working groups, finding a location, ordering supplies, getting donations from seed companies, processing seed donations, building a brand, painting a mural, building a website, which is what you see, and creating email and social media accounts and teaching workshops. The group continued working together throughout the fall and winter, and we officially launched June 2022. Our team has a fantastic community of volunteers. The first group of volunteers were recruited through social media and word of mouth, with a simple call out looking for people interested in starting a seed library together. The first task for the volunteers was filling out a survey, asking them how they would like to be involved and what they like to do. Volunteers were then connected to others that shared their interests, and no one was asked to do work on anything that they did not indicate an interest in. This practice became a part of our culture. We developed some rules for the group, which included volunteering with the seed library should be fun and shouldn't feel like work. Volunteers should only take on tasks that they are interested in or want to do. We trust that everyone brings unique and special skills and contributions. Volunteers should feel free to come and go as they need. No one should be apologizing for taking a break. And we also have one golden rule: only process seeds when you are in good spirits. Taking the time to build a great culture together allowed us to maintain a group of volunteers that were highly committed without facing high turnover rates or burnout. Here are some reflections from our volunteers following the first year of working together. When our second year rolled around, we were excited and proud to launch our project to the public. We held a huge launch event with a movie screening, a seed saving workshop, and a ribbon cutting. We received quite a bit of media attention at the ribbon cutting and then held a party with our friends and families to celebrate. Now that we are established, we still try to maintain our values. We still have a lot of fun working together by keeping things casual, continuing to work on our areas of interest, making time for retreats, sharing food, and enjoying the sun and gardening season. We have also started to hold public seed saving gatherings to continue growing the community. We've accomplished a lot in the past 2 years, and we often reflect that it hasn't felt like much work at all. If you are considering starting a community seed library, we strongly suggest building a small network of contributors and committing wholeheartedly to collaboration by co-creating a vision, learning to trust one another's ideas, and encouraging participants to work in ways that are rejuvenating and exciting for them. Supporting the project. Whew. It can be hard to know where to get started with a grassroots project, especially when it comes to funding. The Calgary Seed Library is not a registered non-for-profit organization. While some funders will provide grant funding to unregistered grassroots groups, most require nonprofit or charitable registration. We were lucky to receive a microgrant of $1,000 from Taking It Global in 2020. This funding allowed us to purchase our initial supplies. To support the growth of the project, we recently partnered with the Compost Council of Canada and Highfield Regenerative Farm, which has allowed us to seek greater funding opportunities since Compost Council of Canada is a registered nonprofit. We are very pleased to have recently received a larger grant from the University of Calgary, which will significantly increase our capacity in the coming years. If your project is not registered as a nonprofit or charity, you can seek a partner with this registration. Look for microgrants that do not require registration, or you can fundraise through other mechanisms. We have also fundraised frequently over the past 3 years, mostly through events which we sold food and drinks by donations. We have also offered our services like workshops in exchange for honoraria, which our volunteers have often chosen to donate to the library. These are great ways to not only fundraise, but have also helped us spread the word about the Calgary Seed Library. We would highly encourage other projects to consider community fundraising for this reason. Luckily, we have also received thousands of seed donations, the most valuable asset for this project. When we got started, we reached out to seed companies in Western Canada to request seed donations. We were fortunate to receive donations from West Coast Seeds, Salt Spring Seeds, and Growers Blend Garden Seeds in our first year. Since then, we've been very fortunate to receive donations from generous local organizations, such as Reader Rock Garden and professional gardeners, like the Prairie Gardener. We've also received donations from many local gardeners who drop them off at our library location or have donated them to our volunteers during a seed drive. If you're considering starting a community seed library, we strongly recommend making it easy and seamless as possible for people to donate your seeds or return seeds to your library. This will reduce your administrative burden and increase your seed donations. Finally, we cannot ignore many other critical contributions that our valuable partners have made to this project, like our location at the Next Page bookstore, which was donated to us by the generous business owners. Community gardens in the city have donated beds for seed saving. Local businesses have donated materials and supplies and supported our fundraising events. And many of our volunteers have donated professional services above and beyond what is typically expected for a volunteer. For example, our brand was designed by a professional branding firm and our mural painted by professional artists, all of which are volunteers with the project. We have been very lucky to work with so many brilliant, skilled volunteers who have made this project what it is. Once again, we attribute our success to this community, and we strongly encourage other grassroots groups to invest in the positive experience of volunteering together in order to retain volunteers and make the experience beneficial for all. As you can see, there are many ways to seek support for your community seed library. While money or funding can be extremely useful, partnerships and volunteer contributions can produce more significant value than the funding that may be available to you. Thank you for listening to our presentation on starting a community seed library. We have had a lot of fun starting the Calgary Seed Library and hope their success will inspire others to start community seed libraries in their regions. If you would like to reach out to us to learn more about the Calgary Seed Library or to ask questions about this presentation, you can find us online at calgaryseedlibrary.ca.